actually. I know, right?
Goody, yay.
Nessa Rose becomes the Wicked Witch of the East.
True.
And
True.
I don't know why you did that to Bach, man, but I wanted to ask, like, how did you find this balance? Because weirdly, this movie was shot 3 years ago. Three-ish years ago. Feels so timely right now. And I wanted to know how you got into this headspace to make Nessa human, but not overtly evil.
Yeah, I take a lot from my own experiences just as a disabled person, and I think there's a lot of nuance to her already just in that way. And then I also journaled a lot as Nessa. I did my best to fill in the blanks that weren't necessarily in the script. I did my best to also dissect the script and get as much of what was written about her on paper, and then take that and do with that, and then really dissect her further beyond that. And also, of course, there's a time jump between the first and the second film. So there was a lot of me figuring out, where does that shift change for Nessa? Where does that decision-making come from, or perhaps her coldness come from? And where does that shift exactly? Where does that fester from? I think her character's desires and her motives come from a deep place of hurt, really, more than anything. And that's something that I think a lot of people and humans in general can just relate to.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Ethan, you wore a lot of prosthetics in this. Last year at the SAG Awards, now to be known as the Actors Awards next year, I was talking to you, and you had told me when you transform into the Tin Man, or you were warning me, you said it's very disturbing. And I want to say publicly you were right. It was very disturbing. But what did that do for your character? Because Bach really goes through the ringer this time around.
Yeah, I think there was this funny blessing of being in prosthetics. For a character who feels trapped within himself, he doesn't feel like himself anymore. He looks at his hands, and he doesn't recognize them. And I think Bach feels that way before the transformation. And then it happens to become physical. So to be in a prosthetics chair for 5 hours, and then by the end of it, I don't know, we did it in like 2.5, which was pretty great. But to be there for so long and to feel physically uncomfortable was this little gift as an actor, because that's how Bach felt in that moment. Made it a little bit easier. Also, that prosthetics team is amazing. And I mean, it was a very bizarre experience. And Johnny, I bet you felt this too. It's like put on something that looked so not like me, and then I moved my face and I like lifted an eyebrow and the eyebrow lifted. It was just like, they designed something that was beautiful and metal and yet human, so that they didn't have to put my expressions in post. I could actually just act through it. And that was another little gift. Thanks, Marc Coulier.
Yeah.
Marc Coulier. Marc Coulier? Yeah, Attorney General.
Yeah. Johnny, you go from Prince Charming to revolutionary in this movie. You really take up the mantle and go for protection in a way that we know Fiyero to do. How was that journey for you, and getting into that mindset to, as you sit between two different loves in the movie?
Yeah. I think I remember when I saw the musical in the theatre, however many years ago, I just remember, all the characters go on these huge, incredible sort of transformations. Fiero's is obviously literal. And when I met John, I think what became clear when thinking about Dancing Through Life is that if actually at the heart of that is someone who's entirely vulnerable and terrified and scared and is using all of his charisma as a defense mechanism, then what you get at the end of that is when he's awakened and he realizes that actually it is about caring and feeling, and actually, even if that causes pain, it's you should really, with Fiera, I want the audience to sort of yearn for a time where it was more fun and enjoyable, seemingly, and he's a very serious character, and I didn't realise that until we really started working on it. But yeah, it's also a very fine line, and you've got a very small sort of lean space, I think, to operate within, to make sense of very brutal and real decisions. And that's what I think Wicked is all about. It's about choices and their repercussions. But what a pleasure to support both these two. So yes.
Ari, you've spoken about Glenda's early life with many around you, and how her origin story mirrors or even contrasts Elphaba's. When you were building this performance, how did you imagine Glenda and how that would carry and shape her in the second part of this movie?
Well, I think she's deeply insecure. When you really get to know her, and I think that through line is present in both of these films. So, the same girl who is working for Madame Morrible and the Wizard in the second film is the same girl who gave her the hat. She's deeply insecure. So when she sees sort of glimpses of, oh, people will validate me or tell me I'm doing something good, she doesn't have the tools to turn that down yet. So, that through line is there, and they share a loneliness, Elphaba and Glenda, and they just present themselves in very different ways. I think Elphaba's literally alone in this movie for most of it, and so is Glenda. She has all of these people telling her that what she's doing is important and that they love her and that she's needed, and she has so many people around her, and she's never felt more isolated and more alone. And yeah, I'm grateful that they also go a little bit into her childhood, like you said, because I think that explains their connection from an early age. They were both told to be kind of something different, and maybe that's what they recognize in each other. It's like a curiosity of like, oh, we have a similar insecurity. We're just handling it very differently. We're both performing through something painful. And yeah.
So glad that we found your dimple twin out there. There's
Scarlet Spears, isn't she wonderful?
a cutie pie, man. Good for her.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Cynthia, no good deed. That number. Yeah, you can clap, it's fine.
What's up?
It's Elphaba's breaking point. She's had enough of everyone's crap. What preparation went into that performance? Because, stress for you.
I don't want you to be stressed. Don't worry. I think what I love about this song is that I think it's actually the weakest moment for her. So it's her really surrendering to a thing that she's sort of been trying to push away. She's worked to try and build a better, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, a better a world for herself, basically. I think she wants people to see her as the good that she has inside, and I think because it's happened so often, and other people's reflections have been forced on her, other people's perceptions and ideas have been forced on her. At this point, when she's lost so much, there is nothing left for her to give. There's nothing left for her to do, and so she becomes the thing that she's been fighting against this entire time. And in order to get to that song, it's both physical and mental, because a lot of the work we did stunt-wise was insane. You have to learn how to sing when you're being hoisted up 17 feet and then dropped 17 feet. You have to learn how to sing when you're singing perpendicular to a book and there's wind blowing in your face and there's no one else there. A lot of that is live and you're feeling that wind, but you're in a blue space. But when you have John M. Chu there and you have Alice Brooks and everyone is just helping to make sure that the atmosphere serves you in the right way, then you can give the song what it needs. When I'm looking into the sort of the past and looking at my younger self and looking at Madame Morrible and looking at Nessa Rose and looking at Dr. Dillerman, they're not there, but I have enough at that point, because we'd filmed some of that, to know where I was and can put myself in the in situ, so I could, when I am looking at the past, it looks like I'm looking at someone and something that I remember. But it really was about the combination of the physical wire work that we had to do, the physical movement, and getting used to that so that my body was not surprised when it happened on the day, so that I couldn't sort of put it to the back of my mind. So when I am flying, it feels like I'm flying and it's nothing new. That way I could sort of dive into the desperation and the hurt and the pain and the grief and the anger and the rage and the loss of it all. Yeah.
I'm very sad that Wicked is over, but I'm so glad we're not swinging you across the room anymore.
Swinging across the room, what do you mean? I love it.
It stresses me. It stresses me out so much.
I love it so
know
much.
You do.
I love it. It's the most painful thing in the world, but I absolutely love it. That says more about me than it says about anyone else, I swear. But it is really, it's truly exhilarating. Once your body is used to it, once you know what's happening, part of the beauty of it is the pain that comes with it, because you know that you've worked really hard to get there. After 14 hours in a harness, you're sort of like, it is what it is. But the result will be what it will be, you know? If that's what it takes in order to get a result like that, then I do it 100 times over. Yeah.
And that's why SAG-AFTRA has a stunt ensemble category, guys. Remember that. Okay, Ari and Cynthia, a question for you two together. I'm a self-proclaimed Wicked head. I've seen it on Broadway. I saw it with Adina and Kristen, by the way, so I've seen Heaven. It looks great. You guys, it's going to be awesome. I've been warning people for a year now. We weren't ready as a nation for good. We weren't ready to take that in. And for me, maybe the shot of the year is the split door.
Yeah.
Ari like losing it. Cynthia losing on the other side. It is one of the most beautiful shots. Can you tell me what it was like filming that in the moment? Because John Chu told me he broke a wall, or he had to break a wall in order to get that shot at the last minute.
It was devastating.
Yeah, truly.
I mean, it was really painful. You know, they're long shoot days, of course, and it feels real every single time. And, you know, your brain knows you're acting, but your body doesn't know. So it was kind of a very mentally strenuous few days, really. But yeah, we had such beautiful support. John is the most incredible, warmest energy in the entire world, and of course we had each other. And yeah, it was beautiful, but it was really mentally exhausting. We used to text each other at the end of those days and say, we are husks. We are shells. What we once were is not what we are today. We're empty, beyond empty. Yeah. So of course it was just really beautiful, but emotionally demanding and special. And that shot when they broke the wall down, I remember Simon on the B camera, who was on the opposite side of the wall. I didn't want to leave the closet in between setups while they were changing over coverage, and I just stayed there because I just wanted to stay there. And it was really sweet. It was really quiet, and he just held his hand through the broken wall. There's a little hole, and he just held my hand. It was really sweet, and that's the kind of support that we had. And yeah, those days were beautiful, but they were hard.
They were hard. They were really were. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, and it's just because it is true what she says. Your body doesn't really know that it's not real, and you know. I'm assuming that a lot of us in here understand what it is to lose someone, or for the loss to be imminent. And so the both of us really sort of dug into what that is, what that could be. It's the first time, it's the only time you hear them say I love you to each other, and it will be the last time, as far as they know. And so we know that, and we've had a few years now of people asking whether or not we're actually friends and whether it's real.
Which,
it is
by the way, why would you ever do that? What?
Why, Lord? Why? It's real. It is real. It has been real. It has been real for years at this point. And so when you're looking at your friend and you know that, I don't know why you're laughing here. This is friendship.
Yeah.
It's real. Get comfortable with love.
But also, it's
know?
with grief and with loss.
Yeah.
It's like we often don't have the opportunity
To show it.
to say goodbye. I love you and I forgive you. And yeah, there were times when I was shitty and I'm so sorry, but I loved you every second of it, even when when my shadow self was coming to the
surface. Yeah.
You don't get that opportunity with loss. Sometimes it's unexpected. Sometimes it's quick and tragic, and it's just a beautiful exchange.
Yeah, it's a moment for them to really to stop. Like everything stops around them, and they can look in for the last time and just say, I love you. And this was insane. This thing that we went through, but that will never change. And that came about because of a rehearsal that we did that wasn't written in. We did a rehearsal for the song, and John didn't call cut. He didn't stop the rehearsal, so we just went on. Just what else would happen afterwards? And
Yours and I love you.
yeah, the door and I love you was in the rehearsal, and he just kept it. And neither one of us could see each other on the other side of the door, because obviously we hadn't rehearsed that door because there was no rehearsal. So when we get to the set and there's a door, us breaking down, we had no idea that the other was breaking down in the same way.
That's true.
That was just what he caught on the day. Yeah. So.
Heavy shit. It's just so funny because then they're like, all right, lunch, and we're like, okay, yeah, lunch. It's bizarre what we do.
It was, yeah.
Really think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
good times.
Johnny, they ask the same thing about you and I all the time if we're really friends, and it's like the same thing, the same dynamic. It's crazy.
Where are we going tonight, Clay?
It's nuts, man. Actually, I wanted to ask Johnny. I do want to ask you a question. Your duet with Cynthia, it's a very big, very big number in the show, very big number in the movie. Door needed for you guys, but talk about getting ready.
You'd break through that door straight away.
Completely. No doors for us.
Am I the door?
That's my man.
I'm the door. Now and then. Sorry.
Hinged.
Sorry. Finish. What was the question?
I forgot now. During your duet with Cynthia, how did you prepare for that? Did you guys talk a lot about where it would be and getting prepared for that?
Yeah, we did talk. It's funny. I remember I was listening to that on the line bike when I was driving to meet John Chu to chat. This is now probably 3 years ago, before being invited to play the part, and I was obsessed with that duet. I think it's such a knockout. It's also entirely nostalgic to the sort of 90s power duets that I grew up with. But the way that, I guess, with John and Cynthia, it was about working out how, when told in this cinematic way, it's the discovery of each other.
Yeah.
That there isn't much time to explore with Fierro, actually, but it has to make sense. And it's funny when you're talking about you two responding to each other through a door, and there is this sort of animal chemistry between you both. I think that when you're in a room, you can sort of feel it, and coming in to support it, I could feel it as well. And I think that Fierro and Elphaba have an animal pull as well. And so it was working that out. And I think most of the work before we got on set was just how you pace it, and slightly shifting the presentation of the story as being one of Elphaba experiencing what it is to have someone in this space that she has created for herself, the only safe space she might ever have found. And for him to discover the detail. It was funny for me as Johnny, because I was discovering the detail of Cynthia's work, but also Fierro's, seeing her beautiful brain and her, being in her presence and being welcomed in, I think is one of his greatest honors. And it was about a security and, excuse the pun, looking for the green light with each other constantly. And it was, they are so good at communicating.
Yeah.
Even it's non-verbal, but from the moment they meet, it's like, I've got you. I see you. What does this mean? And that's what that arc is. And so it was a brilliant decision, I think, that we discovered in rehearsal in a big aircraft hangar somewhere.
Yeah, I remember that conversation we had about, like, how does it even begin? They come into this space that she's been living in, this lair, I like to call it, and the decision to take off the cape, because no one else has touched that cape. It's hers. It's sort of like a battle uniform. It's like protect.
I touched it.
You put it on first.
Put it on.
You put it on first. But
Hello
the
now.
second time, for the new one, look, she hates it.
All right.
Listen,
I've touched the cake.
you've got a bigger
All right,
part of
go
my
on,
heart.
Go on,
Just
go on.
know,
I understand.
okay?
I understand.
You did it first.
I get it.
You invented it.
Let's not forget how.
I would never.
I did it first. I touched
You
it.
did it first. You touched it first.
All right, go on.
Okay.
Beautiful point.
The
being
new
made.
version.
I don't want to interrupt.
The new
Go on.
version.
It's a beautiful.
Just the new version that she
Yeah, the new
fighting
one.
with.
The gorgeous one.
The new one.
The new,
Let's
like,
make
the
a new
tour one.
You haven't done that one.
Where did she get
touch
these
that one.
clothes? They're gorgeous.
We're asking where she got it, and she's green.
Incredible.
The lady is green and has magic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
All right, go on.
Touch it first.
Beautiful,
First.
gorgeous new couture coat. Tell me he's
Yeah,
touched it.
yeah.
Tell me he's touched it.
Okay, the gist of this one. Okay, this is what. Do you see? It's real.
Sophia.
All right. So we decided, like, what is the thing that allows her to feel safe? What is the thing that she is allowing to let Fiera know that I feel safe and I want you in my space. And it's when you take off that cape. Because no one has taken that from her, and you gave it to me, you didn't take it from me. For Fiora to take off the cape, it's just like a moment to reset the way she connects with another person, and it's the only other person that she connects with really in this piece. In that space, I think what I love about this moment for them is that it sort of tosses up the idea of what beauty is and what desire can be and who can desire who, and all of those questions sort of get tossed in the air for them, and they have to find each other through it. Yeah.
Do you see what you do, Johnny? You're making them fight right now. Thank you very much for sharing that. I have a question for Marissa and Ethan. And one of the great things about this movie, and a great testament to what makes a great actor, is what they're able to do when they don't even have words to say. And both of you have these faces that you have in very pivotal scenes when Bach tells Nessa that he's going to be leaving, and Bach goes and sees a sign that Munchkins need permission. You both have this kind of devastated look that the script, no words could really explain that. Can you talk about just those moments and seeing it happen on the day, and what you used to get into it?
First,
Well, I was very concentrated the whole week that we filmed. I really, he knows this. I was very concentrated, and I wanted to really just stay in it most of the time. Like I took a lot of time to myself in between takes and everything, because I wanted it to be as true to Nessa and who she is in that moment. Truly as possible. And I think also another thing for Nessa is just her deep desire for, one, autonomy, but under that is also her desire for control. And I don't think she fully feels like she has it on her own life. And so she's bringing in all these other aspects, like control over having Bach stay, or really over the land of Munchkinland in the first place. And so I think when she's finally in the air, that's a moment of her really feeling hope, and that she can do anything, whether it be what she ultimately desires is to be seen and have that autonomy and have somebody love her for who she is, or whatever it may be. And then just on top of the world and have that bubble burst in that moment. It's devastating, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to connect those two moments where Nessa's flying and there's like sort of a moment where you think that there's self-actualization happening. And then Bach at the train station looking in the mirror, there's that moment of, this is my new life. I'm about to begin my new life and the way that it was meant to be. And I think we both have that moment of like pretty pure hope, which is really nice. And then it's devastating when it's taken away. First, Bach sort of takes it away from Nessa in that moment. And then Nessa takes it away from Bach. It's tit for tat. I kept on like sort of jokingly, maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but I've been like jokingly referring to that train scene as like it's Bach's Schindler's List moment, which is like kind of cheeky. A movie I grew up on, it was very important to me, but like it's kind of cheeky and it's like whatever, but then actually doing it, that's what it felt like, right? Like it was really terrifying. And like we talk about the prescience of this movie, and I think good art always feels relevant. And unfortunately, it feels really relevant today. And 3 years ago, when we filmed it, 2 years ago, it felt really relevant still. And we forget that sometimes. So it didn't feel like this massive stretch that we could be in this moment again, that we could have a Schindler's List moment that was really real feeling. So I guess, which is just to say, the moment of hope and potential self-actualization being pulled away from you is unfortunately a really relatable thing that was something that we both had to lean into. And I think happens a lot in Wicked. But,
Well done. Thank you. All right. Final question is for Ari and Cynthia. It's a big one.
Oh, God.
This, I said this both to you last year. I interviewed you both last year, and I said, you have given a new generation, Elphaba and Glinda, like you will belong to a generation of Wicked heads that are going to know Glinda and Elphaba as you two have played them. And this feels like the beginning of the farewell tour right now, which is a little sad because it's been a really fun 2 years with watching you guys just hang out and be a family and fight over Johnny and stuff like that. That has been a really enjoyable part. But I want you to share with us what this experience really has meant to both of you, filming Wicked, being Elphaba, being Glinda, and possibly changing the whole trajectory of your lives and careers. Little question, that's it.
Yeah.
Small, tiny.
I don't know where to start, really. I mean, you mentioned farewell tour. If we've learned anything from Cher, we can count on there always being another farewell tour. So I don't think anyone's going anywhere. But no.
Was that a confirmation of Wicked 3 just now? I just want to make sure. Wicked good?
God, why don't you
Okay, good, all right.
No, I don't know. But I just think, first of all, I know that there's a great piece that's, coming along with this coming out. I think there's a piece that's felt because people will finally get to know the full truths of these women. For me particularly, I feel really relieved that people finally will get to see and know and love Glinda the way that I had to play her, That feels like a big relief. But first of all, no one's going anywhere. We're not saying goodbye to anything. These characters will be a part of our hearts always. They've changed our lives irrevocably and permanently. And I'm so grateful for that. It makes me really emotional when I'll see a little kid and they'll say, Glinda, that's going to be the rest of our lives. And I get choked up saying it, but I think I will miss this particular work. Like the work that we were able to do together was really special and really challenging in the most delicious ways. And with this particular group of creative people, with this incredible cast, with this incredible director, and every single person involved had the purest of hearts. Like, it was just such a gift, a once in a lifetime thing to be able to do this with not only people who are the best at their craft and who are so thoughtful about their craft in this project, but also just the warmest people in the world. Like, I know that that won't ever happen again in this exact way, so I'll miss that a lot. But yeah, the list is long about how Glinda has changed me. I think I learned things about myself that I wasn't ready to look at until I had to perform them through her. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Whoever that was. Nude, yeah, same. It's a doozy. But no, I think on a personal level and as an artist who really loves just making things, I think that that spark of connection to my craft was also pretty disconnected for a little while. And I think that, yeah, I felt like safe. Oh, I didn't expect to go here tonight. I'm so sorry. It's okay. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I really felt like safe again to fall in love with creating. And like maybe I was being seen for the first time. And yeah, it felt really beautiful. And also, I'm sorry. I just, yeah, and also just being able to do it with Cynthia, who I have a lifelong sister in, was absolutely the greatest gift of my life. Like, just, it couldn't have been anyone else. It just was so destined and so incredible, and I'm so grateful for what we have exchanged as well. Yeah.
Which is a tiny question. Now you got to close it out.
Such a small question. I was thinking a while ago, I thought to myself, I don't know that little Cynthia knew that this would ever happen to her. I think I was one of those kids that like dreamed a lot and had big aspirations. I'm a Capricorn, so I work really hard and I you know, want to do like good work, and I'm you know, determined and all those good things. But there's always a small part of you that thinks, oh, that will never happen to me. That thing that I really, really want, I wish with all my heart, it's never going to happen. And then it happened. And not only did it happen with a director who became a brother, a partner who became a sister, and a cast full of wonderful, extraordinary people who were brave enough to dig into themselves to find out a little more about who they were to inform the characters that they were playing. And which then forced me to excavate some of the things that I had been sort of stamping on and putting under my feet because I was too scared to look at them. Too scared to look at what it is when people put their ideas and perceptions on you. Too scared to look at what beauty is when seen through the eyes of those who don't think that you're beautiful. Too scared to look at what it is to be alone. Too scared to think about what it is to lose people that you love. Too scared to love. And I got all of that from being in this film, which I'm desperately grateful for. So, when I first heard this music, I was 20 years old. And for the 3 years that I was in drama school when I was singing this music, I searched for a place to keep me feeling safe, and that music was this. I had not seen the musical. I saw it when I was 25 and took myself for a single date for my birthday. And that place that made me feel safe, I ended up being in. Now that's great, but what's even more wonderful is the fact that there are other people who have seen themselves in this movie, in that character, and also now see themselves and feel safe. That, for me, is the pinnacle of what I could ever wish for from any piece of work I have ever done. And I am so glad that in order to do it, I had to look into the eyes of this person beside me. And we have come through some shit. We have come through some stuff in our lives, in our daily workings. I mean, fuck, even this last week, let's be honest. For fuck's sakes, we've had to really deal with some stuff. And this movie has allowed us to really grow as people, as friends, as sisters, as artists, as actresses. Beyond the dresses and the makeup, really good artwork. That is the thing that is special about this piece. And I'll miss being in this group of people this constantly, because you don't get a group of people this close often on a set. You don't earn family like this often. And we have. What a fucking lucky thing to be a part of.
So you're not friends.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna miss the hell out of you. Like, I want this. Like, no, look, Wicked 3. You said it already, you guys. It was confirmed. I need everyone to write about this. I know there's journalists in the room. Wicked 3 is happening. We're putting it out there. It's going. Jonathan Bailey's gonna be creating it. Get ready. Every time he gets declared sexiest man alive, another Wicked movie comes. That's the new rule. Listen, it's been as a fly on the wall. It's been the greatest ride to watch you guys.
And I thank you for being so supportive of us too, because I'm kind of new here, and you have been so kind and so welcoming, and you've been such a big part of this with us, and you've always been supportive of us. So thank you. We love you. Thank you, Clayton. We'll miss you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on the show for a while too.
Come with us. We'll just take you with us. It'll be like a tour.
Thanks. I made Wicked. Thank you very much for reminding everyone. I really put this together. No, I appreciate it. And guys, we would spend all day with you here, but I'm gonna end this by doing two things. Okay, you're gonna listen. We're gonna be present. Number one, they have to leave, so I need everyone to stay in their areas so we can exit them off stage. That's number one. Do we agree? No, I didn't hear like I didn't feel a confident yes. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Just wave at that person right there, because obviously that's her waving right there. Just wave to her. Please, I call her.
Can we wave?
All right.
Hello.
All right, so that's number one. And number two, what you can do is you can stand up from your seats and give this one more round of applause to the cast of Wicked for Good.
So much.
Thank you.